All right, let's go install this new sprocket. Okay, so I'm just gonna install the sprocket today, and I'll install the wheel later. Okay, so I have to actually shorten my chain because my chain is for a 62 sprocket, so I gotta cut like 4 links off of it or something. Okay, yeah. So anyway, what I recommend is you buy a new chain with this. Okay, Sur Ron chain is not very expensive, man. That's the beauty of this bike. The parts are really cheap. I suggest buying a primary drive chain. Okay, here's Mega's plug-in primary drive. I suggest buying a primary drive chain, okay, from the company primary drive, not the primary drive, you know, the belt drive. Not, it's the company primary drive. They sell 420 chains, okay, and I'll put a subtitle below what the how many links that you need for a 54.2 sprocket. Okay, there's a specific number of links you need to buy to get it to fit this. Okay, and I'll put that subtitle below right now. Okay, and then so when you order from someplace like Rocky Mountain or something, all you have to buy is a 420 chain with X amount of links. Okay, the links that I put in the subtitle below. Okay, but I'm just gonna cut down my old chain because I won't have really any more use for it after that. So okay, so let's get to uninstalling this. So to uninstall the old sprocket, I need a 6mm Allen wrench. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use my impact gun to take it out. I've done this many times. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install this guy first. Okay, the adapter, and then we're going to install this. Like I said, it's more things to fail. You've got an extra nut. Okay, this one doesn't have a nut. It bolts straight to the hub. So you know, the chances of you losing a nut or something are greater. This one doesn't have a nut to lose, so there's more parts with this setup than this setup. Okay, so that's why one reason Hades Omega doesn't recommend this. There's more things to fail. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, holy moly, it's in there. You can tell Hades Omega put a lot of Loctite on it. A lot of Loctite, so this would not come up. I use this for a race, that's why, you know, you definitely don't want your sprocket coming out during a race because you'll have a bad day. Okay, so all the 5 bolts are out. Make sure they don't look damaged or anything. Okay, we're definitely going to put new Loctite on it. I suggest you put Loctite on these bolts all the time. Okay, stock sprocket goes off. Set that aside. I'm just going to blow some of that debris off. I'm not gonna lie, I have to go to the Lunicycle website to look at a picture of how this thing was installed. Okay, so before I install it, I'm gonna go clean up the hub a little bit. There might be some residue on it. And it won't, like, you know, install very flat. It doesn't really look like I'm doing anything, but just make sure it's pretty clean. Okay, not too bad. Okay, maybe I should have used a wire brush. That was just a nylon one. Okay, so the way it looks like on the website, see this little star pattern here? This has to be pointing outside. Okay, the mushroom rivets, the mushroom part of the rivets, the mushroom head is pointing out of the wheel. Okay, it's not like this. Okay, it's like this. Okay, just line up the holes. Okay, so before installing this, I'm going to put some Loctite on this guy. Okay, so I got some Loctite right here. I'm going to put generous amounts of Loctite in there. Good amount, like that. Okay, just enough to coat all the threads. Okay, and I'm going to put it in. Okay, so yeah, you're going to want to get these. Just kind of hand tightening these in there first. Get your slather your Loctite on them. Just put them in. We'll see how precise a fit this is. Kind of run out. Yeah, you want to make sure you get as much on there as possible. Okay. Okay. Just tighten them. Not very tight first. Make sure everything's all lined up. It should be lined up. Okay, so now we're going to go on to torque it. You torque, I know you torque these bolts at 22 foot-pounds. I don't know what you're supposed to torque these at. We'll probably torque it to the same torque. It's got a locking nut, so hopefully it doesn't come off. Okay. Alright, so there's the torque wrench dealie. Okay, you can see it's at 22 foot-pounds. Okay, that's the max that you want to install it at. Okay, and I would install it in a star pattern. So I'm going to go, I'm going to install it in a star pattern, okay? Probably do just a little bit at a time also. Okay. Okay. It helps if you have a stand like this too. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of hard to do actually. Okay, it's starting to beep a little bit. Okay. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's two. Okay, three. Okay, four. And 5. Okay, and then I'm going to go around one more time in a circle. Okay. 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 All right, so I highly recommend you torque it because you want to know how tight it is, and the hub is made out of aluminum. You may strip it if you make it too tight. Okay. All right, hope you guys got that. So just torque it to 22 foot-pounds, and kind of like the pattern that I showed you. Okay. Okay, so the next thing to do is to install the sprocket. I'm not really sure which direction this goes. Okay. Yeah, there's no unlike the unicycle sprocket, you can tell which side is the front of the sprocket because it says LC on it, okay? This one doesn't have anything like that. Okay, so it's just a regular looking sprocket. So I'd imagine you could install it any way you want. But if you do take it off again, I highly suggest that you mark it, like which side was the front and which side is the back. I don't really know which side is the front and which side is the back, honestly. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I'm just going to install it. Anyway, how about this one, okay? Pick a side. All right. There you go. Okay, so I'm just going to put these on the operating table right here. Okay, so I found out that the bolts on the titanium bolts that come with the in my kit here, the head is 8 millimeters. Okay, you need an 8 millimeter Allen wrench, and you need a 13 millimeters wrench to hold the back. Okay. Because you're not screwing into anything, you're bolting it down basically with the nut. Okay, so I got an 8 millimeter socket here so we can torque it. I'm going to torque it to the same specs as the ones on the hub. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to coat these with Loctite. Okay, going to drop it in there. That's what I suggest. Just drop it in there. The nuts. Take all these out of the package. Oh yeah, there's a washer too. Hold on. Okay. I'm pretty sure. I think the washer goes on the bolt. Right? Yes. Yeah, the washer goes on the bolt because the nut already kind of has a washer already built into it. So you're going to put the nut, so you're going to put a washer on the bolt and then put the bolt in the hole, okay? Okay, make sure it's coated nicely. All right. Put the washer. Drop the bolt in. Okay. It's interesting, I never used fancy titanium bolts like this before. Just make sure you put an ample amount of Loctite in it. Okay, that's 3. Because you do not want this coming out while you're riding, I'll tell you that. And if you Loctite it like this, there's less chance of that happening. Okay? Okay. Now you're going to want to screw in your nut on the other end. Just kind of do it by hand first. Okay. There's not a whole lot of room to work with back there. You could probably do it the other way also, but at least this way, if you bolt this down first, it's easier to torque the other ones down, okay? Because it's already on there, you know. Okay. Okay, hopefully that lines itself up. Take your 13mm wrench, hold it in the back nut. Okay. Just start tightening it. Don't make it too tight first. And we're just going to go crosswise, okay? And hopefully all this lines itself up nicely. Okay, I've already got a problem. I can't get the freaking I can't get the on a specific part of the spokes all come together. It won't it won't, you can't get the closed end in, okay? So it's kind of annoying. So I'm going to use the open end for this side. Okay, just snug it very slightly first. Okay, I'm going to make it a little tighter now. Okay, that 8mm is pretty meaty, so it's probably kind of hard to strip it. It's good to use titanium bolts, so it keeps the weight down. Just on the outside. Okay. Okay, I can already see some of the Loctite coming out. That's good. Alright, so now we're going to go torque it. Okay, we're going to torque it basically the same way we torque the Sur Ron hub ones, okay? Except this one we have to use a wrench on the other end, so it's going to... They kind of counteract each other, so I guess it's actually easier now that I think about it. But you have to do like one-handed. And they're pretty narrow. Yeah, there's not much... It doesn't grab it very much, okay? So just snug it up very slightly until you get to the right torque. There's only 4 on this one, so shouldn't be too bad. Remember, you have to use the open end for one of them, I think. 1 or 2. Try your best not to strip it. Like I said, you could probably do it the other way around too. So. Whew. Okay, just keeps on going. some point it starts to get really hard. Okay, just one. There's two. There's three. Wow, this one don't want to do it. Okay, and then so I've already torqued it in the pattern, the cross pattern. Now we're just gonna go clockwise, okay? Just to double check. Keeps on moving. Okay. Whew. Okay. That's good. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's a range. I think it's 18 to 22 foot-pounds, but I used the maximum number, okay? Okay, so that's it. That's the end of the install. I hope you guys learned something. I hope that was informative. That's what it takes to install this adapter dealie, the Lunicycle CR80 sprocket adapter, okay? For the future, probably just have to take these off, okay? If you're gonna keep on installing these CR80 sprockets, you only have to take these off. I'll tell you this, it's a lot more work than just installing this, okay? Because it's harder to install because you got nuts in the back here, okay? Yeah, it's easier because the Sur Ron sprockets are easier to install because it just bolts to the hub, okay? And you just, I feel like this takes longer, but hopefully it'll work out, and you know, we can use Honda sprockets from now on. So if this one ever goes bad or whatever, and this one looks very strong, this one's got a lot more spokes and stuff on it. I think this will be a lot stronger than the Lunicycle Sur Ron sprocket, because the spokes are much less. They're smaller, okay? It's got a lot of spokes on it, so hopefully this will be very strong. Okay, so I'm not going to do a video on installing the chain. Just buy the right chain and put it on there. Or you can use this dealie if you already have the O-ring chain, okay? I am not going to use an O-ring chain. I'm going to use a regular chain, okay? A non-O-ring chain. Because you get more power from it, okay? There's less drag. The O-rings create drag. But it is quieter using an O-ring chain also, so. But for off-road, I would just use a regular chain, okay? Just make sure you buy a good one. I use a Primary Drive brand chain, okay? Just buy it in the right amount for the sprockets you got. So for 54 tooth, it's the number that's on the subtitle right now, okay? That's how many links you want to get. I am just going to cut down my 62 sprocket a couple links until it fits on this, okay? That's what I want to do. So because I already have a chain for my dirt wheels, okay? So I have a separate chain for my Supermoto wheels, my 48 tooth, and then I'll have a separate chain for this, okay? So, all right, I hope you guys learned something. I hope that was informative. Thanks for watching. That is the Lunicycle CR80 or Honda sprocket adapter, okay? If I was to change this in the future, all I would do is take these bolts out, okay? I could probably just use the impact gun, just gun it out, just make sure it's in there really tight. Take the sprocket out, put the new one on, and then just put the 4 bolts in just like I showed you, okay? I would just leave this in here. I would double check the torque on this, okay? Definitely, as time goes by, double check the torques on it, okay? Especially if you just installed it, okay? But yeah, that should be it. And everything is like kind of self-centering and stuff. So hopefully the alignment is good. Hopefully I don't throw any more chains when I'm riding off-road, like it happened with the 62 Sprocket. This is $65, $78 to my house shipped. Okay. All right. Hayes Mc out.